Well, let's get after it. On Friday the 13th, the House approves the stimulus bill. It'd be hard telling how that will affect the markets, but let's take a look at what's going on here. Friday, we had a 1% drop on the Dow, a 0.5% drop on the NASDAQ, and a full 1% drop on the S&P, and a 0.5% drop on the Russells, and a nice little pop here on the VIX. Volatility index, we're at almost 43 points. And here is the markets. Check this out, gang. This big trend line that we have coming up, we've been watching so closely, we did close below that today. And when I say today, that was Friday for everybody listening and watching over the weekend here. Friday, we closed underneath this line. Bad news. I'm telling you, I'm watching this area. I'm going to pull up a line. And if we can get below 8, if we can close below 823, if we can close below 823 on Tuesday, because remember, the markets are closed on Monday, President's Day. But if we can get a close here, we could drop. And like we said, if we do close below this line, which we did here on Friday, we should start testing these areas where I have my red lines. These areas should act as support, support, and support. And then 750, I'm keying on this one. I don't think we'll get down there to that, but if we do and close below that, I'm 100% bear at that time, and we'll just let the thing roll because it could really fall. And let's look at the weekly. This is the weekly S&P. Zoom in here a little bit. We had a falling wedge formation that we broke out of. And then we opened, come crashing down this week, rallied back just a little bit, closing at support on this trend line. So I'm calling the weekly bullish. We're still bullish because we are above this. We did break out of a falling wedge. So the weekly is bullish. I'm calling the daily right here bearish. The weekly bullish, but the monthly is bearish. Check this out. Big drop, a little pinching pattern. You could call this a bearish pennant or a low base, whatever. But if it goes below 800, if we get a close below 800 on the S&P, I mean, it's going to be, it could spell trouble in the markets. And this is the 800 on the daily right here. If we break that area, wow, it could be a slippery slope. Let's take a look here at the NASDAQ. And here we got ourselves a nice symmetrical triangle, much like we have on the S&P. And check out this channel. We have the up leg here, or I'm sorry, the upper trend line, the lower trend line. We have a higher swing high, higher swing lows. We are in a miniature uptrend. The question is this a bear flag? If you don't know what a bear flag is, go to freetradingvideos.com, click on our chart school, learn those charts like the back of your hand. Know them, and know them well. They will make you money. Anyway, is this a bear flag, or is this just a typical uptrend? We're at support, and are we going to rally up like we did here? When we hit support, we rallied up. We're at support. Are we going to rally up? Here's the problem. We made a higher high, and we couldn't retain it. We came right back down. We have the 50-day, which is my red one, acting as resistance. Now, the problem here with this one is if we get down here below 1500, a little ways before we get there, but we have that trend line coming up. If we can get below 1500, it's anybody's guess where we're going to go to. Let's look at the weekly here. The weekly, a falling wedge, which is bullish. We did pop out of it, and we have ourselves the 20-day moving average. 20 in this case week moving average acting as resistance. So I'm calling the weekly bullish on this one. So I would call the NASDAQ still semi-bullish on the daily and on the weekly, but the monthly is different. This is a low base formation. We drop base. We could also have those little pinching pattern. You can see that I don't have the lines drawn, but those dudes can be very bearish. So any break below 1500, it's anybody's guess where it's going to go to. So I have the monthly as bearish, both monthly and weekly, and the daily as bullish on the NASDAQ. So let's take a look here. Also the Russells. Russell's also given us a symmetrical triangle. We're at support right now. We shot up, came right back down. The 20-day moving average acting as resistance. Now we have what looks to be a shooting star type reversal pattern, and we're just staying right here at support. We're not releasing from it. So that's acting pretty bearish, but we're still within the symmetrical triangle. This could still go either way. So this one is, it's up in the air if we're bullish or bearish as far as I'm concerned. Here's the weekly. The weekly, we had a nice downtrend. We popped up out of this, and then it looks much like the S&P, or I'm sorry, yeah, kind of the S&P, but also the Nasdaq. So I'm calling that bullish, but I'm also calling the monthly bearish, just like everything else. So the big monthly patterns are bearish across the board. We have the same pattern. They all look the same on the monthlies. So what are my plans here? My plans are simply this: to sit on my hands until we get a decisive move on the S&P, and if I believe we're going to have a close below 823, a close below that, or especially if we're 820, if we close below that area here, I'm going to be a bear until we get to these areas. I might look to buy, get to this area, might look to buy. And there are going to be some good buy opportunities here maybe, and we're going to be watching volume. Watch the volume on the spiders and the diamonds, and also the Qs. Those are the ETFs on the broad markets, or the indexes, and that will tell you if we have a lot of buying coming in, buying pressure, selling pressure, and traders agreeing to higher or lower prices. That's ultimately going to tell us what direction the sentiment is at this moment. So very cool. Been a big week. I'm tired. I had a great time. Went to a father-daughter dance with my 5-year-old the other night. Last night I was on conference calls with all the FTV team members, and I'm going to put out a public thank you to everybody that's a team member that's helping us out with everything from programming to newsletter stuff. We got a big team of people, and kudos to everybody. Thank you. And just want to do that publicly. And so anyway, remember Monday is President's Day. No trading that day, and I'm going to get away with my wife for a few days. We're going to go down to Florida, and I'm hoping to still get some videos up during that time. So Tuesday and Wednesday, forgive me if there's not a video from me on those days, but I'm going to try to have something up. But I will be in the forums regardless, so I hope to be able to chat with you guys and communicate back and forth. So looking forward to that. So anyway, till next time, happy trading to you. Always use a stop loss when you trade, and never put your opinion into it. Watch what those charts are doing and let the charts do the talking.